Matador.
Hey everyone, welcome back to part 17 of our Platinum Trophy Guide for Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. We got a lot to do today, so let's get to it. So from where we left off, just leaving Figueroa Castle, we're going to head up to the north to this little wooded area and pick up a chocobo stable. Again, step inside and leave. The first enemy you'll probably encounter are these guys. They're called Bogey. They just look like big dogs. They're not very tough. You can see that just a couple attacks will take them out. So finish those guys off. There's going to be 3 more monsters that we're going to add to the bestiary on top of the Bogey. So we're just going to walk around quick before we head into the next town and get those guys. So once you clean them up, continue to walk northward, and we're going to go past a little building here. We'll step into it in just a second, but you want to just hang out in this top little peninsula area, and you can find some of these guys. These are the Deep Eye on the right and the Moose on the left, and again, not too tricky to take care of. Just use your best attacks. I unfortunately got surrounded with this one, but it's not a big deal. The Mooses don't take a lot of elemental damage, so just use regular physical attacks on those, and they'll be fine. So you can see I used Razor Gale on that, but because that's a wind attack, it's not going to do anything to them. There, it just used a move called Transfusion. What that does is it heals monsters on the field at the expense of one's life. It just removes it from the battle. And that's actually something that Strago can learn as one of his lores. So keep that in mind. We will be coming back to pick that up too. Just keep walking around until you find our next monster that we have to get, the Marchosius. This big bird might look intimidating, but it's really not. It has just over 1400 HP, so 1 or maybe 2 attacks is all you'll need to take it down, and that will be the 4th entry in our bestiary. So we're all done with that. You can move on down and step into this little building here. This is a Coliseum. We will be coming back to this in a future part, and you'll see what that's all about. There is a trophy related to that place, and of course I'll show you what that's all about later on. So once you've gotten all 4 of those bestiary entries, then head on down to the southwest, and there's a little town in this area, and this is Kohlingen. All you really got to do here is step into the inn, and just to your right, there's a party member. Setzer. So you survived. Come with us, we're going after Kefka. I just don't have the drive to do that kind of stuff anymore. What are you talking about? I'm a gambler. My world has always been one where man's spirit could soar free. Not anymore. I feel like the weight of this world is crushing me. It's just too much to bear. And on top of that, I've even lost my wings. You fought with all your heart before the world was ruined. That couldn't have been easy either, but you seemed to bear that just fine. That was then. All my dreams are gone now. If you need a dream to chase after, then why don't you find yourself a new one? Like taking back our world. You know, maybe you're right. You'd chase after it with me then? My new dream? Thanks. Now I think it's time to pay a visit to Daryl's tomb. She's waiting for us, with a new pair of wings. So just a little bit to the southwest, on that little peninsula, is going to be our next destination. But first, it's time to shop. If you head to the left and then go up, you can find the weapon armor, and item store all connected in one building. How convenient! So we'll go here and we'll look for upgrades. I'm going to buy some Viper darts. That's a nice little upgrade to Setzer's weapon, and it comes with the ability of giving you a 25% chance of instant killing an enemy. That's going to come in real handy for us later too. Also, walk on over to the armor store, just buy upgrades for people's armor, and then make sure that they're all properly equipped. So I thought that the diamond vest is pretty good, or diamond armor. Either one of those is a good option. And then as far as items go, just make sure you've got a good stock of some things, including holy waters. As you're equipping people, if you have anything that protects against zombie status, now would be a good time to equip that, because the place that we're going has a lot of zombie stuff going on. So go ahead, equip your guys however you want to, and we're going to move on. So we saw in the little cutscene where this place was, just a little bit to the southwest, and it blends in pretty well with the background, but it's right between those 3 pine trees. This is your friend's grave? Yeah, she was really something. The world could turn inside out and she'd never even flinch. Could be anything lurking down there, so keep your eyes peeled. That's good advice. Well, this is Daryl's tomb, this is basement floor 1, and we need 2 monsters in this room alone. The first one here is a skeletal horror. Go ahead, kill it, it's not too difficult. Of course, being very undead looking, it's going to take a lot of damage from aura cannon or any holy or healing type magic. There is also a more rare monster here that you have to get, so just run around for a while until you get the Borghese enemies. These ones will also inflict zombie status on you. They are significantly more difficult than the skeletal horror that you just fought, so that they might mess your team up a little bit if you're not careful, but that aura cannon did big damage there. And what's interesting, you saw Setzer throws his Viper darts. It gets the instant kill on them, but because it's a zombie, it doesn't kill them, it actually revives them. It's kind of the backwards thing. Edgar got inflicted with zombie status. What that does is it sets your health to 0, and now healing magic is what damages you. And for all intents and purposes, you're dead, and you will also attack your party members indiscriminately. So just a weird status effect thing. But this is why we made sure that we had holy waters. You also get them as very frequent monster drops when you're done with battles. So just take some time to use a holy water to heal up, and then you can move on here. So this room I'm going to call the hub, and it has different rooms that connect to it out like spokes on a wheel. And so we're going to go down into the right first to go pick up a treasure chest, and this is the Genji helm. Once you've got that, now we're going to go back up and straight up into the next room, and this will be a little tomb that you talk to, and it opens up a door. So just go up in there and walk around, and there's a switch, and it raises the water level, and that will be very important for navigating a future part of Daryl's tomb. So once that's done, you can head on back down, and we're going to go way to the left here and down. There's a treasure chest. And now we get into the next fight, and you might be a little afraid of one of these monsters on screen now if you have played other Final Fantasy games before. It's a Malboro, and it has a really nasty attack called Bad Breath, which will mess you up. You can see Edgar has terrible luck with this, and he gets inflicted with Imp, Sleep, Confusion, and Poison all at the same time. So you definitely want to take them out quickly. The real reason that I gave Setzer the Viper darts was for the Malboros, because they're not undead and you can instant kill them. So I did it in that battle, and unfortunately the second attack, because he has got 2 Viper darts equipped, it attacked the other monster. Its name is Exo-Ray, and that one is a zombie or undead creature, so his Viper darts just revived that one, just like we saw with the Borghese enemy. So after that battle's done, just take time to, if you were inflicted with Bad Breath status effects, you can just fix them as you normally would using your items. And then you can also make sure to equip a ribbon item which negates all status effects. So that's your other option too, if you just don't want to be affected by any of those things. And of course, if you see that one of your espers is maxed out, then teach some new skills, just reassign something. Before you go downstairs, like I almost did, make sure that you grab the chest right there, and then you can head downstairs for yet another chest, the Regal Gown. If you head on up in here, you can see another switch, so you can flip that one, which is going to open a door all the way up there. But we still don't have a way to get to it, and let's figure out how to do that. Here's the final random enemy that we need to look for, and it is called the Cloud Wraith. Looking at it, it should be very obvious that it is also an undead creature, so use one of your healing or holy attack kind of things to remove it from battle as quickly as possible. Though Edgar just went full Texas Chainsaw Massacre on it and took it out by himself in a very quick fashion. So once you're done flipping that switch, then you can head back to here, and we're going to travel all the way back up to our hub area, and we're going to go into another room, the one straight up here, and we're going to look at the tombstone in here, and this one's blank and it wants us to carve something into it. Well, we don't know what that is, so let's move on to the center of our hub, and you'll see that there's a turtle that we can jump across just like earlier. There's a switch that we can flip to raise the water level here. And if you go down, you'll see a bunch of tombs. So what we're going to do is talk to these tombs, and we're going to get parts of a code. And that code is going to be used to inscribe letters into that one blank tomb in the top left corner of the hub. So you can see just some weird letters. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. QSSI. DLRO, WEHT. So those aren't really words. That doesn't mean a whole lot. But we're going to head on up here. I got in a random battle and I was afflicted with poison before I left, so I'm taking little damage as I walk here. So just stop. If you get poisoned, don't walk around with that because you'll constantly take damage as you go around. Anyway, we're going to go back in here, and I'll tell you the order to put in the inscriptions. So the first thing we're going to do is WEHT, then DLRO, QSSI, and finally ERAU. So it still doesn't look like a whole lot of anything when you read it out, but it's actually backwards for the world is square. Once you put that in, then you'll get a message from the tomb. I have hidden the growth egg in the side room on the 3rd basement level. Well, I like hidden treasure, and we need it for the trophy anyway, so let's go get it. So head on back down to the lower left corner, and you'll go down the stairs here into this room. Now hug the bottom of it, and you'll go straight across to a secret passage and get the growth egg. Once you get it, then just head back on up to the hub. The growth egg is a new relic that gives you double experience earned in battle, which isn't that exciting for the PS4 version of the Pixel Remaster game, just because you can set your experience to be up to 4 times anyway. Well, once you head back to the middle of the hub and go down, you can ride the turtle across to this new area and go up through the doors and inside. You'll find a save point right there, so go ahead and heal up, save. This looks like a very ominous treasure chest up ahead if they're going to give you a save point right before it. And there's a very good reason for it, because it is in fact a monster in a box. You may be having flashbacks to the beginning of the game where we fought a very similar monster where we could not attack its shell, but this time we can. In fact, we must in order to kill it. So I used Runic on Celis just to avoid this giant Gigavolt coming at the team. But this monster has a big weakness to instant death attacks. So I was trying to throw some Viper Darts at its back. Instead, I just used Sabin to cast death on it, and it died. So pretty easy fight. You can fight it normally. It's got a lot of health. You can just fight it, whittle away at its health. Make sure you kill the shell this time. But if you want to do it the quick way, then just cast Death on it. And you'll get some Dragon Claws. That's a new weapon for Sabin. A big upgrade to what he's currently rocking. So put those on and you'll be good to go. And then you can head back to the save point. If you want to, you can heal up and save. Grab this treasure chest. That's the Man-Eater. That's a new weapon. It's a dagger that does bonus damage to humanoid enemies. Well, if you look at our treasure chart, we got 6 out of 6 now. We're good to go. So head on up. Pay attention to how much gil you have, specifically the last digit, because the boss will use an attack called level ? Holy, and if your character's level is a multiple of the last digit of your gil, that will mean that that attack will hit. But none of my characters have a level that's a multiple of 6, so I'm good to go. So talk to this, and then you'll have to fight off against the Dullahan monster. This one hits really hard. It is an absolute beast of a monster to fight. What I did is I just had a dedicated healer focusing on casting Cura, and then everyone else was casting Rasp, because this boss has a lot of HP, but it has a very small MP pool. And what I wanted to do is deplete the MP pool as quickly as possible, because just like some of the other monsters that we fought in this game, when it runs out of MP, it will die. So everyone just goes full tilt, casting Rasp on it. Make sure your dedicated healer is using Cura to make up for all of the massive attacks that you're receiving, and you should be able to pull through in very little time with very little effort if you keep up on that strategy. I did fight this thing legitimately a couple times, and it just destroyed me. I tried strategies of having reflect rings out, and what it does is it will actually do an attack that will counter your ability to reflect by inflicting some really nasty status effects on those characters. It just is a bad boss to fight legitimately. So use this strategy, cast Rasp on it as often as you can, and it should die pretty quickly, and you can move on. In fact, I will end this boss battle with full health on everyone. So that was a pretty good feeling after a couple of failed attempts on this one. If a Rasp isn't an option for you, then its main weakness is fire, so use your best fire attacks to deplete its HP. But it does absorb ice, so any sort of reflecting its many ice attacks back at it, it's only going to heal it. So here we come to the end of the boss fight. This is the last Rasp that we're going to cast on it, and it will kill the boss. Whew, that was something. So it's down. We get to now have a little cutscene montage here, learning a little bit more about Setzer's relationship with his friend Daryl. So that opens up a door in the back. Head on down there, and we'll go see what our reward is. Being here brings back all kinds of memories. The next test flight could be dangerous. What are you trying to prove by pushing your ship to its limits? It's pointless. Watch your step. If the worst should happen, take care of the Falcon for me. You can't be serious. When I take the Falcon from you, it'll be because I left you a mile behind in a race. Until then, I'm not letting you out of my sight. Ha, good luck with that. Ah, there's really nothing like flying. How long you plan on hanging back there? Aren't you going to try to pass me? Or are you too entranced by my wiggling rudder? Incredible. Alright, it's time to get serious. I'm gonna break the records. I'll fly above the clouds and see the stars closer than anyone ever has before. Be back by sunset. I'll be waiting for you on our hill. It was a year later when I found the wreck of the Falcon in a distant valley. I restored the ship and then put it to rest down here. So, this is the Falcon. I can't very well be the world's fastest pilot if I can't even fly. I need your help, Falcon. With this, I think we just might have a chance. Now we'll be able to get up to the top of Kefka's tower. If we land up there, we should be able to get inside to launch our assault. And we'll be able to look for the rest of our friends. Right, first things first, I'm finally starting to feel like we have some hope. That bird, could it be? Setzer, follow that pigeon! Why? I'm not sure, but something inside tells me it'll lead us to our friends. Alright, we have been reunited with a very fast airship that will help us to explore the world, and it really opens up our possibilities for what to do next. Well, thank you so much for watching. Oh, wait, you wanted more in this episode? Okay, let's get going. Alright, head directly north and into town, and this is Miranda, and we've been here in the world of balance, but never in the world of ruin. The buildings are pretty dilapidated, and we're going to go talk to this woman down here who's walking in circles for some reason, no longer being chased by an Imperial soldier. She tells us that a woman named Lola is receiving a lot of letters from her boyfriend recently, so let's see what that's all about. So head directly north into her house, and we can see, well, she has a lot of flowers in here. Look at all these flowers. My boyfriend and Moblet sent them to me. Look closely. They're all handmade. Real flowers won't bloom anymore, so he made these from silk. And he just sent me this letter. But wasn't Moblet's destroyed by Kefka? Someone else must have written that letter. My beloved Lola, art thou well? We have rebuilt as much of the village as we could hope to. I believe I should be able to return to thy side before too long. This handwriting looks a lot like Cyan's, but where is he mailing them from? Could you please attach this reply to the carrier pigeon outside? Well, we'll agree to that. Thank you. I don't know why she just couldn't do that herself, but let's do that. And we'll talk to the carrier pigeon. And away it flies. And this is the game's way of conveniently telling us where we should go next. So, of course, we will follow that bird. But first, shopping. So let's head right on over into the weapon store and we'll see what upgrades await us. Here's a new sword for Celis to wield, and that's it. We'll then leave and head on over to the armor shop. A new crystal shield looks pretty good for our team members. But 2 of them because I still am dual wielding those Viper darts with Setzer. A couple of crystal mails for people, a black garb for Sabin, and a new helmet for Celis to wear, and some new armor as well for the other guys. So that looks pretty good. We'll just equip everything onto them, and then we can go and chase after that bird and see what's going on across the bay. I did end up equipping Edgar with the Man-Eater dagger. I don't use his physical attacks often because it's pretty much only tools with him, but it does come with a nice little bonus to magic evasion. So I figured, well, why not at least get the passive benefit of using that, even if I'm not using the weapon itself for combat. Well, work your way out of town here, and then we will hop back into the airship. It's time to fly in over to where the bird went, so hop in your airship, and the continent that you're on is this weird L shape. It's on the left side of the map here, and you're going to want to go from the lower right corner right into the middle of that, the big circle part on the top of the L. And when you walk inside, this is Zozo. Zozo hasn't really changed since you were here last time. In fact, you'll still get those random encounters, and they are the exact same enemies as before. So after talking to the bird, then walk on over toward the inn and talk to this merchant, who will tell you that he will sell you something called Rust Rid for 1,000 gold. And you will want to buy that because we're going to need it. So go ahead, buy that, and then you're going to go down into the pub and work your way up the pub's floors until you get to the very top. You're still going to be getting random battles all throughout this, but at this point, they're very trivial. So the top left door here is the rusty one. The rust rid will dissolve it, and you can go right on in. And now you're in Mount Zozo. Why there's a mountain inside of a building, I don't know the answer to that one, so maybe put something down in the comments if you have an explanation for it. I certainly don't. The monsters in here all have ridiculously high evasion, so you're going to want to equip something like the Sniper's Eye to make sure that you're hitting those. We have the first 2 encounters here, the first 2 monsters add to our bestiary, which would be the Mugbear and the Punisher. The Mugbear, as its name implies, is a bear that will try to mug you, and he can steal your money and then will swiftly run away, just like bandits or something else, little thieves from other games. So he stole about 8,700 gil from me and then ran off, so that wasn't so great. But we did kill the other one, so we'll continue on with our treasure hunting. There's a chest right over here for an ice shield, and then you'll head down the stairs and you're going to go get the next one. I left this battle in just because I had to show you that I did get revenge on the Mugbear, and I did finish him off and killed him. So Rising Phoenix, just to damage both of them off the bat. I'll follow that up by using Chainsaw right to his face. And he didn't get away with stealing from me that time. So now that I've avenged myself, I can sleep better at night. And we can continue on getting the rest of the things in Mount Zozo. Well, once those monsters are dead, we will continue down and grab this box at the bottom here. And it's a red cap. That's a new head armor piece. So here's another monster for us. It looks pretty similar to one of the Gigas enemies from the town of Zozo. This one's called Glacia Labolis. I dare you to say that 10 times fast. Speaking of fast, it's really fast too. It's got really good evasion despite being a huge monster, and it does have an attack called the Uppercut, which can do some serious damage to you. Luckily though, we're pretty strong and we can take him out before he poses much of a challenge to us. Once that's done, then head on down the stairs here, a very long set of stairs, and down by the light. Follow that all the way to the left. You can see I get the Moneybags trophy there. That's for getting 500,000 gold. The treasure chest has the Thunder Shield in it, which will be very important for an upcoming fight. So don't miss that one. Apparently these stairs are also a big spoiler. That's why it was a blocked scene, apparently. Head outside for a quick treasure chest. This is the gold hairpin, and then you can go right back inside. Walk around and go out the other illuminated doorway. Now there are some new enemies to look for out here, so let's try to find them. The monster on the bottom here is named Devil Fist. He's one of our new monsters that we have to get. He's pretty unremarkable. He has 1,759 HP. That's an incredibly specific number that I don't know why they don't just have round numbers for the monster HP values, but now you know that if you can inflict 1,759 damage, you can kill him in one shot. So Chainsaw would definitely do that for you. And then, again, these monsters are all very fast, so probably see me missing some, but that sniper eye on Setzer allows him to really go in and always hit his shots. And with the Viper darts, he's able to get one-hit kills every now and then. So it's all well and good. It took me a very long time to find this next monster on our list, so I will be skipping ahead some battles here, but just run around until you find him. And it's going to be these little guys known as Luridans. They may be large in number, but they're pretty low in threat. So do whatever you want to. Big AoE attacks. I used Flash here, I used Rising Phoenix, and that did a good job of taking them out quickly. So whatever you want to do here, just have fun killing them off. It took me way too long to find these guys, so hopefully you have a lot better luck than I did encountering them. Once both of those monsters are defeated and in your bestiary, you can head inside and all the way to this spot in the light. That's a new save point for you. There's a very tough boss battle right ahead. And I think preparation is key for this. So instead of dual wielding weapons for Setzer, especially because this boss is not vulnerable to instant death attacks, I decided to give him a shield as well and made sure that everyone had a really high evasion, especially magic evasion for this fight. It was pretty brutal trying to do this the first time. I did find out a good strategy and I'll be walking you through that in just a second. So go ahead and make sure everyone is well equipped, definitely healed up all the way, has very high MP values, and then you can stop on this switch. This little dragon guy will fly around, and if you stand right here, you can encounter him, and this is the Storm Dragon. Give Celis the Thunder Shield before you start to negate his wind damage, and then also start the battle by having Edgar use Flash. You want to inflict darkness on him, and that will take away his ability to do a lot of physical attacks. He unfortunately still has a lot of magic attacks, especially big AoE attacks that will affect every party member. It's a rough time. The basic strategy that I use is normally I would dedicate one person to being the healer while the other 3 attacked, and this guy was dishing out so much damage that I actually went with having 2 full-time healers in the form of Celis and Setzer, and Sabin and Edgar took turns attacking. Sabin did some blitzes, also casted Thundara, and then I focused on using Chainsaw mostly with Edgar. The Storm Dragon has 42,000 HP, so that's quite a bit more than a lot of the monsters that you're used to fighting. It is one of the rarer monsters in the game. We'll talk more about what those dragons mean in the near future. But the attacks that it has a wind slash attack that attacks everyone. It has arrow. It has a move called Cyclonic, which reduces the HP of all party members down to single digits. So that's definitely critical health. And a Wing Saber attack that does high damage to a single target. And just to be a real jerk, it often counterattacks when it's damaged. So you're just going to be getting a lot of damage coming your way. So again, make sure you have 2 dedicated healers with lots of MP and the Cura spell. That's really all that I have to say about this boss fight. I'll just let it play out while I stay quiet, and you can just watch to see how the rotation works with the different party members. And if everyone stays in their lane and does their job, then we come out victorious. And yes, you'll see that Cyclonic attack wreck my team, but you'll also see how we recover by having 2 full-time mages that are dedicated to healing. So enjoy the rest of the fight, and I'll see you when it's over. And there you have it. Good teamwork saves the day once again, and the Storm Dragon is dead. Thank goodness. After the fight, you get an ominous message that 7 dragons remain. I wonder what that means. But you also got something called the Force Armor, which is an amazing piece of armor. It gives very good stat upgrades, and it also halves the damage received from multiple elements. That's awesome. So go ahead and equip that on whatever character you'd like to, and we will stop by the save point here to save up, heal, do what we need to do. We are almost done with Mount Zozo, and we just have a little bit more to do. So once you're all squared away, then we will continue on, and we're going to be heading south to the next section. Head down these stairs and continue along the walkway. You'll be weaving your way around the wooden planks here, down some more stairs, and outside. Continue walking to the right through the grass to the next opening, where we'll find a room with lots of flowers and an envelope. Dear Lola, I'm writing to beg for your forgiveness. I'm guilty of perpetuating a terrible lie. I have only now realized the error of my ways and taken up this quill in hopes of correcting a great wrong. Your boyfriend, whom you believed to be a Moblitz, passed away some time ago. I've been writing to you in his stead. We humans have a tendency to become trapped in the past and refuse to move on. I implore you not to let this happen. Now is the time for you to look forward and rediscover love and all of the other joys of life. Cyan. So it was Cyan who was writing to Lola, but now that we found where he's been living, where is he? Well, this treasure chest is locked, so let's head outside. Memories of the world before the fall remain, but the light of dawn doth never change, nor err the hearts of men. Cyan! You are all alive? Cyan. I shall go with you. We must not abandon the world to Kefka. But however did you find me? Wait, tell me you did not read my letters. Oh, we read those letters. These are their sort of a minor diversion of mine. Cyan, these flowers are gorgeous. Oh, must thou embarrass me so? Dost thou truly think so? I wondered what had become of that poor girl, always waiting for word of her beloved. I decided to pay a visit to Miranda. I learned that she had long since stopped receiving replies, but still sent a letter each day. I could not bear to stand by and do nothing. As I wrote to that girl, I began to realize that I was no different from her. I was refusing to move on. I could not let go. I will no longer live in the past. We must all look to the future now. By the way, I encountered Sir Gao and Miranda. He said he would get strong, smash Kefka. I believe that means he intends to hone his skills in order to challenge the Lord of the Tower. Knowing Sir Gao, he was probably headed for the Veldt. Well, let's head outside and find a nice sparkly on the ground, which is the key to Cyan's treasure chest. So let's go unlock that previously locked chest and see just what he was hiding. What are these? Machinery for dunces, a pictorial guide to machines, everything about machines, machines for the mechanically disinclined, and Bushido in the bedroom. Oh, Cyan, you dog. Well, there's 6 out of 6 chests here, no hidden items, we are good to go. I don't really want to walk the whole way out, so instead we are going to use a teleport stone to leave this dungeon behind and go all the way back to the entrance. That is going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for all of your support that you've shown so far. If you want to stay up to date, don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and have a good day.